Just kidding.
Really?
Yep.
Can you do
It's
that
slurp
again?
it's Slurp Your Coffee Friday. No, because I feel like I almost had a snot bubble come out, and I really don't wanna do that live on Facebook. True story, though, about a snot bubble if you want while we're waiting for people to join us.
I can only imagine.
So I remember as young Jody, who was in band class, and there was a cute boy that I wanted to get the attention of. And you know how girls sometimes we're really good at, like, if we're with our friends and we just kind of like laugh and giggle, right? Like it gets the boys' attention a little bit to look over at you. But I laughed too hard and I was trying to kind of keep it in. And I remember like kind of like going like this, but like kind of laughing out your nose. And this huge, like, I mean, huge bubble of snot, like it blew up like bubblegum bubble right as he looked at me, right? It's like, "Mm." And I
So,
was like,
do you think you got his attention?
yeah, it didn't work in though in my favor, just
Oh,
hindsight.
okay. Yeah.
It's really hard to find the boys who want a really goofy MFer. Yeah. Anyway,
How about the headaches lately?
don't even talk about them.
It is awful.
They've plagued my soul.
I've had headaches.
I've had a migraine for 2.5 days and it's no fun.
Yeah, I hear you.
So sorry to miss you yesterday, friends, but we're back today. And yeah, that's that.
Whoa. What else is going on? What's new? You're
Not a whole lot. I
you're
am,
looking kind of Christmassy.
yeah. Well, today, as people join us, they can learn. Now, there's like ugly Christmas sweater day at school and at work, and people have ugly Christmas sweater parties. Today, though, is actually National Ugly Christmas Sweater Day.
Huh.
So I thought I would wear a Christmas sweater. However, this particular sweater I don't feel is ugly, and I wear it all year round.
Well,
But
that's good because the two little blonde girls that bought that for you would come and get you.
this is like my Christmas sweater with my super cool
Llama.
llama eating a candy cane.
Yeah.
So happy National Ugly Christmas Sweater Day.
Huh. Had I known.
Well, I feel like you're doing okay. Just kidding.
Wow.
I know.
Go ahead, blow that snot bubble right about now.
I feel it. I feel it in there. No.
Ugh.
So crazy.
What else is happening?
Everybody's sleeping today.
Really? That'll
Yeah.
happen.
As you start to join Coffee Club, even if you're watching the replay of this later, say hi in the comments. Let us know you're here and hanging out. Let us know if you've got your ugly Christmas sweater on today.
I see on your social media that you have a advent calendar of coffee.
Yeah, from Nespresso.
This, you are special.
I am. Well, and the Nespresso social media team is on it because I've tagged them on a few things and they've talked to me. I feel very special, like Nespresso knows who I am, but
You're a big deal.
I'll show it to you. This is it.
Yeah.
It's very beautiful.
Huh.
They've made it exceptionally lovely. So
Well,
it's my
that's
joy that I get to try a surprise coffee every day. It's kind of fun. But I was thinking for Fuck It Friday today
yeah.
that we could have a fun conversation about what I think is, I don't know, I feel like it's like the grandest example of saying fuck it to something is the whole Harry and Meghan story.
Oh.
And now their new, I don't know, a docu-series, I guess, has come out on Netflix. And I know that you're a bit of a
I'm a royal buff.
royal,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I enjoy watching their shenanigans.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. That's part of what I want to talk about today. So anyway, I have binge watched the entire Harry and Meghan series while I've been home with my migraines. And it's just really got me thinking so much about their story. And I remember when it was first unfolding, I don't really watch the news, so I wasn't super paying attention. I've
Mhm.
always found the Queen fascinating. I really could care less about the rest of the royals. But when this particular story happened, I remember having the opinion, and I will be so honest to say that I was just like, oh, a hard life. Like, here's a prince who doesn't want to be a prince anymore. Like, boo hoo. And I really just had this kind of flippant attitude towards it without knowing the story.
Yes.
And so I just was like, okay, whatever. Watching this, it's changed my tune a little bit.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I you know what? I think that they have set a precedent for, I don't know what you want to call it, the pay attention to yourself movement, because they decided after what you want to call, I'll call it bullying, harassment, lack of attention, whatever, over attention in some people's eyes. They've just said, yeah, I've had enough. I'm out. See you later.
And I think there's a lot of layers in that. But ultimately, I feel like the villain at the end of the day, and I'm going to say this, which is big coming from me and my background,
Yeah.
it's the British media.
Yeah, but I agree the British media has a part in it, but who controls the British media? The
I don't know.
monarch.
Well, yeah, I think there's both there.
I mean,
However,
let's get into it. The institution has three people in it right now that sit at the top of things: King Charles, Prince William, and what was Prince Harry.
yeah.
If those three are trading documents and something gets leaked to the media, it's one of three. If it's the one guy that wrote it and doesn't want it to get leaked, then it's one of two. So, yeah, there's a problem.
And what do you think? Like, as a dad, would you leak one child's documents over the other? I don't know. But as a snotty brother, would you? And yeah, I'm
Well,
labeling William as snotty because I feel that from this thing. And again, I'm watching one side of the story, but it sure looks like Will and Kate didn't like being showed up.
they didn't like being showed up, and if you follow the royals at all, there's a hierarchy and bit of an airness, if you will. And I mean, at the end of the day, Prince William's the one that's going to be king next. There's no bones about it. He's the chosen one. So, yeah. So Harry's just decided to become a surfer and a mountain biker, and everything's great.
Yeah, I don't know if it's as simple as that, but
No, it's not.
it was interesting to watch that series, and it's interesting to see because I fully believe though that I mean, again, we will never really know the full story. And I think part of the problem, honestly, is the fact that we as humans are also so curious about the story. If we didn't give a flying flip about what the royals did with their life, tabloids wouldn't have an opportunity to make money because no one's reading the story.
Well, and that's it.
So
And
are
I
we
mean,
really to blame at the end of the day?
no, we are curious people, and we're curious about those that lead maybe a little different life than us.
Yeah.
And after watching parts of this, they lead a different life.
Yeah.
Like, stuff is done differently. When you don't have the ability to go visit your grandmother, I find that odd.
Well, and it's like Megan said in the show, it's the ultimate piece of like work versus home. And work takes precedence over home life because you are not allowed to visit the queen, which also means you're not allowed to visit your grandma.
Yeah,
That's
that's
weird.
that's uncool.
That's weird. Well, and it's so embedded in this. And I think that's really where the world, like it mirrors an interesting piece of the world, in my opinion, in this moment, because we're so much in this place in the world where we've been ignited a little bit. We've decided to open our eyes more. We are more aware. Now, there's the whole hashtag woke, which I feel like has a really negative connotation to it as
Mhm.
opposed to what it could have been. But we're more interested in making the world a better place, and we want to take the steps to make change, to make the world a better place. In that, you have to release and let go of the way things have always been. And this is also what's happening, I think, in what happens in royal lineage, right? Like, it's built so far from this historical piece, and like this was protocol and pompous and all of these things that happened all the time. They don't really, they can't function in that same way in this current world anymore. We're not
No.
there anymore. And it becomes this debate of where people get upset about canceling culture or erasing history, when really it's not about erasing and canceling it, it's about shifting and changing it.
Hmm.
And they're mirroring what's happening in the whole world right now too, which has caused such great debate also, in my opinion, because people are worried about losing history, which could be a whole other tangent I could go on also, but I'll try
Right?
to
You,
stay
you
focused.
just you take that tree and branch it out.
But I'm just like, why? Why do we want to keep saluting the person who founded the land who's like a psycho racist? But anyway,
Well, what
why can't
what
we
I
change
don't
that?
understand is, yeah, like the whole reason it was built wasn't built on a good premise. The Commonwealth's interesting, and yes, we're a part of it here in Canada. And am I someone who enjoys reading, finding out, doing royal stuff? Yes, but not everything they do is for the right reason.
Yeah. Good morning, Deanna.
My favorite
I
line,
know.
though, in the whole
And
thing, am I
then,
allowed to say one line?
yeah.
My favorite line in the whole show, you see Harry, or as he's referred to, H.
H.
H. That's big. And Megan sitting there and they're on their computers, and out of the blue, she says this. Oh yeah, Beyonce just dropped us a message. And I'm going, yeah, because that happens all the time.
Well, I loved the fact that she's an actress of her own right. She's married to Prince Harry, and she's like fangirl freaking out that Beyonce texted her. I also thought that was really interesting because I'm just like, of course Beyonce should text you. Anyway, it was fun. It was an interesting series. So I would invite you to watch it if you're someone who's curious about the thing. I think what I like is that they decided that they wanted to tell their side of the story from
Well,
their
and what,
mouths in their words because they've never been allowed to do that. And
and
when
they
you watch
recorded
it,
it the whole way through.
it changes the way you feel about what's really happening in that scenario. Is there anything we can do about it? No.
No,
But
no.
I feel like a real life piece that comes out of watching that series that I would really love the humans of our world to really let that sink in is, I think it's in episode, I want to say 5. I could be wrong. There's 6 episodes. It's in 4 or 5 where they talk about the algorithms of social media, and they bring up Twitter, and they bring up the scenario of how they investigated how many of the hate tweets that were coming towards Meghan. Because a huge piece of this story was that the the institution of the royal family decided not to protect Meghan in the media anymore because they were going to use her as the scapegoat, which you
Yeah,
will find through history is a really like that's their go-to move.
yeah.
Anyway, they do this piece on showing how it was really about 83 accounts on Twitter were accounting for the hundreds of millions of tweets that were coming out that were creating this hate messaging towards Meghan. And what's really interesting about that is because that is a scenario that I see that you could understand is playing out in a lot of different areas of
Yeah.
life. I don't know, erase the word Meghan, insert COVID for a moment and think about that and let it sink in for a second, or anything else where you see is this opportunity for people to spread hate. And you know as well as I do, I think social media is an incredible tool. But when it's used for the shit side of life, it's also incredibly powerful. And so I just, in that moment watching that, I was just like 83 accounts. That's it. And created this huge trend because people learn how to use the system. They learn how to hide their IP addresses. They learn how to create this stuff. And they were actually using, like, was their term in the show was they were using like stay-at-home moms who they wanted to just have their opinion used, and they used that to, they fed them information and used it to send this out. Could you imagine?
Hmm. Yeah.
And now here's two people who just, the basis of their whole decision, and you've got to understand that for Harry, when he is raised completely with learning institution, 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 is able to step out of that because he's recognizing that his mental health, his wife's mental health, I mean, she shares in the show that she wanted to take her life on numerous occasions.
Hmm.
Friends. That's
Uncool.
terrifying. And I don't think we thought about that. I think that the recent news story with the DJ, actor, the producer of music from the Ellen Show, Twitch, how he recently died by suicide. 3 days before, had this amazing dancing fun video with his wife on TikTok, and everybody's like, "Oh my goodness, he was so happy 3 days ago." Well, we don't know that. And we would have
No.
looked and been like, "Man, Meghan Markle's living every woman's dream of marrying a prince, and here's where she's truly at." Like, we
Yeah,
don't
she
know.
becomes a princess and hates her life.
And wants to die. Like, you guys, that's not okay.
Not good.
And I think it's interesting that it would have been interesting for this story to come out as it was happening years ago to see how the queen would have handled that situation versus what's probably not going to happen with the
Yeah.
king, because I think he's a big piece of that problem. But I don't think the queen was innocent either, to be honest with you. Not that I will speak ill of the dead, because that's not okay. She's not here to defend herself. But I, again, how incredibly difficult it would be to be that woman and to have to choose an institution which you vowed to represent versus your grandson. You don't think she, like, I swear to goodness, the queen had to have had ulcers. Like, would that not eat your insides out all the fucking time?
Well, and they said in there that Meghan and the Queen went out on a couple of occasions and had a great time.
Like, she would get the queen laughing.
Yeah.
Well, and I don't think, like, and I remember, like, those stories coming out at the time of people being like, calling her a gold digger, and she's just this American who doesn't know anything and is going to ruin the royalness or whatever the heck the things were. But when you got to see more, and I really found that in this series, is that I had no idea how incredibly well spoken she was and how beautifully educated she was, and the incredible amount of work that she did globally before even knowing Harry,
Yeah.
in visiting other countries and empowering women and just bringing love and light to the world. And the two of them together, gosh, when you watch that, you see how dynamic they are and you see how incredible they were, and you witness how popular they were for that. And then you could see, like, I don't know, I mean,
Well,
the
and I think
creators of
that's
that
part of
want
it.
you, they want you to feel that peace, because then you look at Will and Kate and you're just like, "Oh, you seem like snakes." But I don't know that for sure either. Like,
No.
maybe they just were like, "We don't know what to do." Like, who's advising who at the
Well,
end of the day?
and I think it'd be funny the way I put this. I think the limelight enjoyed Harry and Meghan. Like they had a bit of charisma, they had a bit of swagger, and they did things. Whereas, you see the other ones and they're kind of vanilla.
They're stiff
Yeah.
because they were just following the rules. And Harry and Meghan feel like, to me, they feel like they were just being authentic. And
Yeah.
there's something about, when you think about when you meet somebody who's really authentic and living in their true self, however that looks in such a beautiful way, you're attracted to that. You want to be a part of what's happening with that bubble. So that's how I think most people felt. And I think at the end of the day, like you can't not play the race card in this entire story also. And I do agree that the royal family really missed such an opportunity in being afraid of what that could have been instead of harnessing what it really, really could have been by having Meghan be that, what would I call, like a
Spokesperson,
bridge gapper?
representative.
Yeah, that allowed them to, because they say like the Commonwealth is made up of a majority of Black and brown people.
Three
And
quarters of
that's
it.
the words that they use, so I'm hoping that I'm saying that correctly also. People of color, the Commonwealth is made up of a huge amount of people of color, and they felt really like they felt connected to the royal family for the first time in forever because, let's be honest, the Commonwealth was not built on being against slavery.
So here's a thought and an idea.
Mm,
There's been one country already remove itself from the Commonwealth.
Jamaica. Yeah.
How many are going to follow
Oh, I think most
after
of
this
them will.
comes out?
Well, I guess at the end of the day, I would be curious because I'm not really sure. What is the benefit of being a part of it?
I don't know.
Like, I would love to find out. I don't know where we would learn this, or if somebody knows, throw it in the comments where we could find the information. But like, what's the benefit of being a part of it? What do we get as a country having the Queen as our head of state, or now the King? Sorry, because even in
Oh.
Canada, I don't know what benefit we even get in Canada of having that.
Well, and does it cost us to be part of the Commonwealth?
Yeah, like
I have
what's
to.
the
I'm going to do some research, Jody.
because I'm curious, like, because for some of these countries, like if there was a financial gain or benefit to being a part of the Commonwealth, I could see why you would want to stay. If there's not, why?
Huh.
Lisa says the royal family is all marketing, which is unfortunate as they're human beings. Agreed with you, my friend. She said they bring in tourism and a ton of money to the country. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because we're not used to an everyday society. Like, it's not like hundreds of years ago. We're not used to kings and queens and dukes and duchesses and that whole world. It's so foreign to us. It seems like it's fairy tale. But like Elisa says, at the end of the day, these are human beings doing human being things.
Yeah. Put
And
your pants on, one leg at a
human
time.
beings, we like to really screw things up. That's what we do. That's how we learn. As we would say on Fuck It Up Friday, we like to really fuck things up. We do. And then we learn from it and then we grow. And so I'm going to be it'll be interesting to watch how the future of this royal entity continues. One, because we've had a changing of the leadership for sure. Moving into King Charles is such a difference for what I mean, we've our whole lives all we've known is the Queen. So that part will be interesting. And then yeah, the shift of what happens now. They already said in the show that the royal family refused to comment about the Harry and Meghan series.
Well, at some point, I think there's going to be enough peer pressure and enough. This could change the minds of a lot of people, and I think they're going to have to file some sort of a statement. And if not, you're going to see this type of, I don't know, documentary continue. And yeah, now all of a sudden, you're going to have the hard playing media, maybe from other countries, going to ask questions. And if no one's going to answer them, that's where we revert back to the previous statement of, why are we part of this?
Yeah. And like, what's the solution for the ridiculousness of the paparazzi? Because
They're
I
crazy.
100% believe the paparazzi killed Lady Di. I mean, there's probably a number of other factors along with it. But at the end of the day, like again, I don't know if you watch the series The Crown. So it's it's not done as a necessarily factual show, but I'm sure they're bringing in a lot of pieces. And in the latest season of The Crown, they really focused on Lady Diana's story and about how ultimately she was duped by the media. They came in and pretended that they had documents from other members of her family against her, and
Yeah.
she believed them. They completely fucked her over, and then look what happened.
Yeah.
Like, how come they're not accountable for anything?
Crazy.
It's weird. It's weird, you guys, but we wanted to just kind of have an interesting talk, if nothing else, just to put some things into perspective, right?
That's
It's
it.
anytime we're allowed a mind shift is a day that's exciting for me because we got to start thinking about things from all angles. We don't always have to agree with all of the angles, but I think we have to be aware of them. Otherwise, we're choosing ignorance.
Well, there's three sides to every story. One side, the other side, and the truth. So I don't know that we'll ever get that part of it, but
No.
okay,
Well,
let's switch gears. Let's
and
switch gears.
ultimately, wait, just one sec. I want to say that is like, do we need it? We
No.
feel like as people, we want to know the truth of that story. But at the end of the day, like, isn't it their family business? Like, do we really need to know? I don't know.
Well, are we funding it?
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with the whole like, we fund you, you have to dance for us, monkey. Like that whole piece of that scenario either. I'm not sure that because taxpayer dollar goes towards you that should mean that I get to know everything about everything in your life. And I think that mirrors also the way we treat politicians and any
Mm-hmm.
other leadership in our world is that we feel like we should be given access to their private life.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure. Do we need great leadership and do they need to be held accountable? 100%. Do I need to know about your private life? No.
Probably not.
I don't think that's fair. And I think that prevents good people from running in politics, but that's a whole other tangent I could go down.
The tree is growing.
I know. There's just so many things, but
What's on the agenda this weekend?
it's going to be a really beautiful weekend. It's one of my favorites.
Am,
It's
am, am I booked for anything that I don't know about?
no, I believe you know of the pieces. So we are a part of Foothills Angel, and this weekend we will be delivering the gifts to the families. There are 10 families that we are supporting this year, and we get to
Whoa.
do that delivery this weekend, which I'm
Awesome.
really excited about. I also help volunteer with another incredible charity based out of Okotoks and Lethbridge called Baby It's Cold Outside. And they support numerous families kind of in the same vein. And I get to do some Christmas shopping for toys. And there's a toy drive this afternoon at Okotoks GM, where we are filling a truck full of toys for families in the foothills. So I
Awesome.
think it's going to be really cool.
Well, that's good. Do I get angel wings this year?
You could wear them for sure.
No, like my own set, not a
Oh,
borrowed set. I'm going to talk to Corey.
okay. That's probably best. Blessings to you too, Deanna. Deanna commented that officially the Commonwealth is an association of 56 countries who all work towards shared goals of prosperity, democracy, and peace.
I think there's a flaw in there somewhere.
That's the
But okay.
most politically correct statement of all time.
Yes.
That's a great goal. I really like that. However, what does it really mean?
Yes, exactly.
But yeah, watch the Harry and Meghan series on Netflix and then come back and weigh in the comments how it made you feel. Because that's what I need to know. Because I
Exactly.
remember before I've made so many comments like, oh, boo hoo, I'm a prince who doesn't want to be a prince anymore. And then I watched it and I'm like, I'm sorry, Harry. I didn't mean to say that. I'm like, H, call me.
Yeah,
I'm on your team now. So I don't know.
you are special.
So
You're
they won
special.
me over.
Well, you're a tough
But if
cookie.
Will and Kate put out a documentary series to give their side of the story, I would watch that also open mindedly. wearing my H&M shirt. Yeah, no, I'm just
I look forward to seeing it.
It's fascinating. But I think like it's the same thing with celebrities of all level, right? We we don't know what that life is like and we want to know all the details and we watch
But
all the
you're a
videos and then
celebrity.
huh?
You're a celebrity.
No.
No, like
Gosh, if
in
you're
your
waiting for the tabloids on me, you are gonna be bored.
okay.
You're like, yep, she had another migraine. Yep. Her couch is starting to have the indent of her butt. It's a real glamorous life. But
All right.
just keep that in mind. The more you buy the tabloids, the more the tabloids make the money to send out the paparazzi to harass the people that we admire. So we're a part of it. Just remember that.
Cool.
Okay, great. Have a super duper Friday.
What?
Fuck it. Fuck it. I feel
I
like
am so good.
we could write a song for Harry, just being like, fuck it, fuck it.
You I think yeah, I think we really need to get Harry on your show.
Could you imagine?
How would that be?
That would be really cool.
Would you wear your best toque for that or
I might even comb my hair for him. Yeah. But I wouldn't care either because I'd just be like, do you need a hug? Like, let's hug this out.
you and your hugging people? Good
Yeah.
grief.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Have an amazing day.
You as well. I guess
Ooh,
I'll see you on
cheers.
Monday. I'm gonna have to arrange some wings if I'm gonna do this angel thing.
Okay. I've got a halo you could borrow, but you can't keep it because it's mine.
I don't know that I need your
You'll find
halo,
your
but
own.
okay. All right. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone.
Yeah, I
What did
do.
you say?
I said,
Yeah.
yeah, I do.
Oh, okay.
That's all I said. Deanna says hugs heal. This is why I love Deanna. Thank you, friend.
Deanna.
Hugs heal.
Hugs heal.
So does coffee.
Okay.
All right, friends. Have an amazing rest of your weekend. We will see you back here Monday morning at 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time.
Talking about Harry.
Now, I don't know what we're going to talk about on Monday. We have a
Okay.
really fun guest joining us Wednesday next week, which I am looking
Are you
forward
allowed
to.
to tell or no?
Not yet. It's too early.
All right.
And we'll go from there. And then it's like almost Christmas. Blech. Who's ready for that?
Have you finished your shopping? Like your shopping?
No.
No.
No, I have not. It's on the
Me
list
neither.
still.
I'm hoping Amazon delivers everything yeah.
I'm going to be the one in the stores on the 24th with all the dudes being like,
Okay.
hey. Yeah. Okay. Bye,
Awesome.
everyone. Have a
Take
great
care.
weekend. We'll see you on Monday.